I moved to St. Louis. I got this house and I started working on it.
My sister co-signed on this house with me. Dogs don't destroy everything. Amazing. I was seriously so scared in that house by myself. To show you the basement. There's a hole in the basement door. It really is disgusting over there. It's gonna be so cute in this little landing area.
Basically, I bought this house as a foreclosure. Now, in 2019, my dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And at that time, my sister wanted to move abroad, probably Spain. I wanted to move west. And my dad was like, hey, I'm gonna do treatment. It's gonna be okay. It was not okay. And he's like, will you guys please not leave the country, go far. Dad was doing treatment. My sister and I were just gonna rent an apartment in St. Louis, but turns out I'm a ceramic artist, so I need to rent an entire house with a garage or something with a basement to put my kilns. So at the time, it was cheaper to buy a house than to rent. And now the market has changed a lot in the last few years, right? So I was in Columbia, Missouri at the time, and also I'm living in my electrician's basement right now. So Olive, are you joining for the? At this time, I was looking at houses at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. Dad was doing treatment for his cancer. I found this house, online foreclosure, online auction. I was competing for this house in this auction against one other person, and I outbid them. And I think I won that bid sometime in February or March. And then we went through the closing process and closed on this house in March of 2020. Flash forward, at this point, my dad, right around this time, gets put on hospice, and they're like, you have 4 days to live. So I literally bought this house in St. Louis. My dad gets put on hospice. The world shuts down with the pandemic. I ended up finding this house. I'm like, I'm gonna go for it. I thought I'd eventually move west. Flash forward, I am. And anyway, long story long, I had quit my W-2. I was an artist. For years, my art was I was making lots of money, but I was also building my business and writing off a lot of my non-W-2 income, my LLC, against my W-2. So I looked so poor. I'm trying to get a loan from the bank, and I also have a mortgage in Columbia, Missouri. Well, I was my parents said they would co-sign if you need it, but I really don't want to put them through that. And then I told him Abby was gonna live upstairs at my house. And he's like, what does Abby look like? I'm like, well, she was about to move abroad, so she sold all her stuff, sold her car, paid off her student loans. She has zero debt, and she makes good money. And he's like, Abby is co-signing. So bless my sister's heart, she literally co-signed on the loan, on my debt, and her name wasn't on the title because my bank was like, it'll be easier to just take her off of it in the long run if she's not on the title. So my little baby sister signs on my loan. The Bank of Moberly, Missouri, where I grew up, they gave me $39,000 to renovate this house that is there's holes in the roof, all the windows are busted out, it needs complete new sewer, lateral, stack, everything. And here I am, Miss Morgan Whitson, and I moved to St. Louis. I got this house and I start working on it. So that's kind of the leading up to it. But anyway, in March, I get the house. The city shuts down. We do a drive-by closing. My dad gets put on hospice. So all of us kids move back home to my family home in Moberly, Missouri. Since everything shut down, my little sister got pulled out of Springfield. Her college, it shut down. So she moved home. My brother was in high school. I think it was his junior, senior year. He was home, but no school. And then Abby worked remote, so she went home. And then my kind of bookkeeping job I was doing on the side was remote. So we're all living at home, and my family's home with 6 cats, a dog, all the siblings. This isn't my childhood home because my family moved into the country when I was a freshman in college. So I didn't really have a bedroom. So I took over Olivia's bedroom, shout out Olivia. And Olivia was just bumming on couches, Daniel's room, wherever. Abby had a bedroom, and then just cats everywhere. And then also they told us that my dad was gonna die in 4 days. So family, everyone's coming in. People are always coming to see my dad, which if you or a loved one or a friend has ever been on hospice from cancer, it's they give you this booklet about how there's gonna be days where they're so bad and they're bad, and there's gonna be days where you think they're getting better. Well, let me just tell you, my dad lasted until June 22nd. So 2 more months. So 2 months of us all living together in this house. April, May, June. Oh, it was almost 3 months actually. We're just there was days where he was in bed for days and suffering. And then there was days where I was out on the back of the 4-wheeler with him and he was driving around, and I was like, should we be doing treatment? Why are we giving up the fight? Anyway, so that was like a really weird, stressful time. And there was different trips I would take back to the St. Louis house. So closed on it. Had my house in Columbia, Missouri, which I sold in May. So then in May is kind of when I moved all the rest of the crap to St. Louis and back to my family home in Moberly. And during these couple months, I was doing like the sewer lateral. I gutted the house. I got a new roof. I repaired windows. I did a lot of exterior stuff. And it wasn't until it was basically the beginning of July that I moved back to St. Louis fully. And then just started going ham on the house, like tiling the kitchen, tiling the bathrooms, just like repairing all the plaster, doing everything. So this is that journey of renovating this home. I had just broke up with my fiance at the end of 2019. I quit my job that I worked at an interior design firm and did like project management, and we were in e-commerce, and I was like, I'm never gonna be in this industry again. I don't wanna quit, but I just knew there wasn't a path for me to grow there. And so I was like, I'm gonna do art full time, and I'm gonna move to St. Louis and start this new life. And then we have a pandemic, and then my dad dies. And anyway, but this house was like I don't wanna say it was a distraction, because, you know, I definitely thought about my dad every day I was working on the house. And it was just like all the good things about the house made it the saddest, because I was like, knew how proud my dad would be of me. And I still know that he would be so proud every day. Anyway, so yeah, that was such an interesting year, and everyone was like watching Tiger King and Love is Blind, and I was Googling like, do I fix this? And posting it on TikTok. So this journey will be interesting, because there's probably a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be like, cringe, but like, I lived in that house for 5 years. I freaking love it. And I'm excited for my journey of redoing my house in Colorado. Yeah, so this is the St. Louis Retrospect, and we're gonna just take you through it, as embarrassing as some of it may be. So I'm excited for you guys to see the whole process.
We just drove by, closed, signed on the house, and we went to McDonald's because Abby said it was safe. So we covered our food in hand sanitizer. It tastes about the same. And the girl touched my hand in the drive-thru. We walk in the front door. There is something's happening here. That's gonna go. Here's a nice little closet. So when you walk in the front door, you walk into the living room / dining room. That's gonna go. It's not a functional fireplace. These are gonna get filled in. There's stained glass on the top of these. I'm gonna keep that and repair these windows. To the kitchen, which I'm going to get. Might not have money for that during the pandemic. Sunroom, which is very dark because the light doesn't work. But I have big plans. There's brick in here for this little sunroom. Painted red, gold, blue, green, brown. There is a leaky roof. So we're gonna learn all about plaster repair. Changing fixtures. Can you guys guess what color? I'm painting everything white. Dogs don't destroy everything. How did it scratch? Why did it scratch all the way up here? The hallway, which leads you back to the front door. And a little bathroom. Just walk up here, but it's my favorite part of the house. I have great things planned for up here, and we're calling this the sister suite. Abby's gonna have her bedroom in here, and I'm gonna fix up the bathroom for her. Oh. Amazing. I was seriously so scared in that house by myself. I kept carrying around the knife. I was like, I should check and make sure there's no squatters in here. One thing though I kept thinking the whole time I was demoing is like, what happens if someone comes down the stairs and murders me and it's all caught on camera and you guys see it? And I think that's the way I'd want to go out. Like, that is so me. I had to shade the basement. Like, my heart is racing every time I come down here. Like, there's gonna be someone down here waiting for me. Okay, so it's a pretty big. Basically, I'll probably wall that off so I have room for shelves and throwing. I'm not gonna close this in because you don't really want to trap moisture, and you can tell there's some issues. So I'll probably like get some of that paint off there so the water. It really is disgusting over there. I'm gonna rip this out tonight. Monday, the sewer guys are coming to replace the whole sewer and use up half of my renovation budget and go all the way out to the street. Number 3, I don't have a ponytail with me, so I'm gonna go demo downstairs and then go home.